Hi Charity, this tutorial is for Mosset tree in particular, the directory. And you'll notice here primarily this is the lesson plans. I didn't know if you wanted it to be called lesson plans, but we can change out verbiage if you want. I changed some of these names a little bit just to try to make them fit on here a bit. Okay, so we talked about look and feel, but these are actually linked up to your categories. So acquire knowledge brings us to this part of the directory. This is what it looks like on the front end. Over here we can sort by categories, or we can come over here to an advanced search, and whatever fields that you have, we can actually say yes or no that they can be on the advanced search, and people can actually search this way as well. There's an option for tags as well, so that may be a good option to put here too. So as we I put a test listing under each one of these just so we can kind of see it. This view is actually considered the summary view, and as we click into it, we actually have a listing. I don't know if pictures are important. There's different views that we can look at. I like this one because this was horizontal here, so we can play with, there's like 7 different views, and I can show you those options. There's only 2 that go totally across here. I would assume that these are going to be a lot more content. So we'll have to kind of play around with what looks decent there. We do have a rating system. I know I got to change some verbiage around here. These are my folks over the ocean. They spell things a little bit differently. And then we have the ability to submit a review. If we click on submit a review, there we go. People have to log in and register in order to submit a review. And you can't review your own listing. You can recommend that, print, you can contact the owner, and it'll bring up a contact form for those guys. That's kind of nice. And then we have a report, so if there's an inappropriate listing, people can say that. And then we can sort by the all of the owner's listings, which is a nice feature as well. Okay, so that's the front end. So say for example, you wanted to start working with this, and under acquire knowledge you wanted to actually add a new listing. You can actually add a new listing from the front end. You can manage this from the front end or the back end, and I'll show you the difference. So what you'd need to do here is just kind of log in and then come back here to acquire knowledge, and then you'll notice that when you do add listing here under acquire knowledge, you'll have the ability to add your own listing. Okay, so that's pretty cool. You can just click submit, and then it will be added. So pretty easy to be able to add a listing from the front as well. If we go to the back end, I wanted to show you this on the back end. Go to components, and it's Mosset tree, and this is what it looks like on the back end. So you'll notice here primarily we have the ability to add a listing, add a category, but you have to be in the right folder in order to do that. So if you wanted to add a new category, you'd have to click on directory, and then you could add a category. Okay, if you wanted to add a listing, you just click on the category that you wanted to add a listing here, and then you could just add a listing by clicking add, and then you have the same ability as you did on the front end. Okay, so, and again, here's the images, publishing dates, you know, parameters, show rating, visit, all that kind of stuff. So this is pretty easy. I like this. This is a great visual way to kind of deal with your listings. Now the next part that you're going to want to probably work with is the fields. So don't worry about spy directory, don't worry about configuration, let me deal with that, and templates. The only other thing you're going to be dealing with is custom fields. And so you'll notice here that it looks like a lot of fields, but you'll notice that I unpublished a lot of the core fields because they're inappropriate, and I can't delete them because they're core fields. Okay, so what we're going to need to do, and by the way, we can always manage the view of this by going all, and we can actually get the ones that are published by bringing them up to the top so they're easier to view. But you have to do that one by one in this component, which is a pain in the rear. So we'll just deal with that later. So if I keep trying to lift this thing up. It just takes a little bit further up the rung. See how it's taking it up there? But you got to do one, click, 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 click all the way up to the top. So a little bit of a pain in the rear, but it would be easier if we could get the ones that you're using up at the top. Okay. I think there's another way to do that. Hang on. I think we can go tags. Yeah, so down here we can actually do ordering. I forgot about that. Yeah, so we can actually do author. Oh, that's much better. I just remembered that. Okay, so we're going to save and close. That should have done it. Yeah, so it brings tags up here to the top. That's how we'll do that. All right, so that's it. So if you want to add a new listing, you have custom fields, or not a new listing, but a custom field, you just press new, and it's just like RS forms where you pick the type that you want, and so here's all the different types that we can use. Same kind of thing, the caption, elements, and we'll play around with this show detailed view and show summary view. You can actually, whether it's taggable, whether it's being shown on a simple search or an advanced search, so is it a required field, hidden field, things like that. Alright, I think that's going to be the one that you're going to play the most with this week, and so this should get you going. Alright, hon, let me know if you have any questions. Bye.